that cover page, though. Let's talk about that cover page. I'm curious if this is going to be an ongoing thing or was this a one-time thing. I'm honestly looking at it, and I'm talking about, in case you don't know what I'm talking about, the cover page where it looks like white-haired Kaneki with bandages over his eye, wearing a white robe, sitting down on top of a pile of books. Now, to me, that's Kaneki after he was defeated by Arima, and he was healing up, and either at this particular point he still knew he was Kaneki, or he was getting ready to be brainwashed or whatever. But I think that actually might be canon. I don't think that's just like a drawing for the sake of it. I think that's actually canon to the events after what happened with the fight with Arima. And like right now, the suspense is killing me. I ain't gonna lie. I was like, it just seems way too obvious. It seems as though Suyashida is saying, no, this is definitely Kaneki, and I'm not gonna hide it from you guys, but you're gonna see a lot more interesting things along the way. Now, if there's one thing I noticed, it's definitely that with the inspectors now, it's become more of a competition now than it used to be. Before, it was just everyone struggling. Let's win. Let's defeat the ghouls. We gotta put justice, restore order. But now it looks more along the lines of they got a lot of young people, and a lot of people just want to move up the ranks and things of that nature. So it's definitely looking more competitive than it used to be. Like, I mean, at the end of the day, yeah, they probably still were a little bit competitive or whatever, but like Mato, for example, and I'm not talking about Akira, I'm talking about her father. He was just like, yo, I'm in my lab, I'm doing my thing, fuck everything, I don't care, I'm just chilling, I love my work, and that's it. But like with these people, it's like, and again, it might be because they're younger. Like if you see, for example, Sasaki's group, or I'm tempted to call him Kaneki from now on, but for all intents and purposes, you know, we know who I'm referring to. So no, fuck it, I'm just gonna go with Sasaki for now. His entire group is made up of young people, and they're 19 years old. They're pretty freaking young, so it might be the reason why as well. It's very competitive, and there's a lot of people that don't even respect Sasaki right now. They're looking at him like, why is he so up there? Why do people praise him? And they probably don't even know the half of it. Now, for the people that only watched the anime and then read the manga from there on, you're probably going to be a little bit lost regarding these whole RC cells thing, because that was something that they skipped over, which is really unfortunate that they did that. But ultimately, the RC cells, in a nutshell, are things that are used to detect whether you're a ghoul or a human. Well, they used to be like that. Now it's kind of measuring, because, you know, they have the new quinkes now that it's kind of like a combination. It seems as though it's some sort of surgery that they actually do to give them these quinke so that they have the powers of ghouls, and they even exhibit some of the features of ghouls as well. And the thing about it is, everyone has, you know, decent, maybe it's a little bit high, but Sasaki has almost 3,000. And the way the doctor was talking to him is as if Sasaki knows he's a ghoul, because he was like, oh, I didn't mean to offend or anything like that. So I'm thinking, does he know he's actually a ghoul? Does he know that he's actually really Kaneki? I'm really curious. What's up? Like, who does he think he is? Who does he know he is? And, you know, there's just so much mystery still with this guy. Because prior to the chapter, I was thinking, okay, if he doesn't know he's Kaneki, and he's just using this quinke thing, wouldn't he still have that, like, oh, I can't eat any human food? So I guess Arima's using this whole quinke experiment shit to cover up the fact that Sasaki is a ghoul. So it's like, oh no, the readings are going to look like that because they have these quinke surgeries. And also getting characterization of Sasaki, you could definitely see he's more so along the lines of back to when Kaneki was black-haired. Before he went white-haired, he's very considerate of ghouls, and it gets him in trouble sometimes because, again, this is a different setting. Like, prior to this one, every time we've seen, and again, Kaneki, you know, whatever, he was always in amongst ghouls. We rarely seen him around inspectors. So now him being around inspectors, the shoe is on the other foot. It's basically like, no, I care for the ghouls. I don't really want to, like, kill them. You know, we should be a little bit more considerate of them. So you can see his characterization is similar to where he was with the black-haired side. And now this whole torso and serpent thing. First of all, we seen that little kid with the camera, and he's like, oh, I can help you get some information, whatnot. The little kid with the camera we saw in chapter 1. And I don't know if those events were separated or they were in the same room, because remember we seen Ayato and Hinami, and then on the other half we saw the dude crying on the floor with the rose, and then the little girl with the camera. I don't know if they were all together, so if that's Ayato's group moving forward or what's up with that, but we seen the little girl with the camera, and she's definitely connected to some of the people we know, I'm pretty sure, because if she connected to the purple-haired guy, and the purple-haired guy is connected to Tsukiyama, that might be the rabbit hole. And as far as torso goes, immediately I thought to myself, all these things are going to probably connect to part 1, and it might not be exactly like immediately, so I might be wrong with this, but I'm thinking to myself, what if torso is Amon? And maybe either they threw him out or he escaped out of Kano's lab, and maybe he's fucking batshit crazy at this point and he's just ripping things apart, and they call him Torso maybe because he did lose some of his limbs in the last fights of the manga in part 1. So it could be that he's just continuously trying to get more limbs or whatever. I don't know. I just thought if it was going to connect to anybody, that would be very fucking interesting and just a huge twist right there already. And in my opinion, Serpent is connected probably to Ayato. I don't know, it just feels along the lines of that. There's still so many mysteries about Toka and everyone else out there, but for now, I'm leaning towards those people for Torso and Serpent. Maybe Serpent is either Ayato himself or someone else, although we know Ayato for a while was going by the Black Rabbit mask, so I don't know if he would change up and start calling himself Serpent, or if it's a different person entirely. And it's still making me wonder where the fuck is Periot so we can fucking strangle those bastards. Fuck Periot, fuck them! And to be honest with you, as of right now, Sasaki's group, the people that we've seen thus far, I'm not too fond of really most of them. Like, Mutsuki seems as though, like, this girl, as of right now, she's a weakling, and they even said that she probably won't get any stronger. So I'm imagining that that's going to be Sasaki's soft spot. That's going to really hurt him if anything happens to her, and he's going to constantly want to protect her. And then the other two dudes, Uri is a fucking piece of shit. I don't like Uri as of right now. Maybe things could change later, but as of right now, he just seems like a dick and an asshole. And Shirazu, he seems like a nut job, but he follows Sasaki for the most part, so I'm fine with Shirazu right now, but I'm not really like enthralled in him. But then again, there's only 2 chapters and we haven't had any character build up for them thus far. All we've seen is their wild nut jobs going crazy. And it was nice to get the characterization of the relationship between Akira and Sasaki. She does want to defend him still. You can see that there's definitely some sort of bond, and they even went up against Aogiri Tree at some point, which I would love to get a flashback of what the fuck happened. And if they did went up against them, and let's just say Sasaki, you know, of course, if we think he's Kaneki or whatever, and he's seen somebody that he already knew, would it trigger any memories, or did he just completely graze over it, or does, again, he know that he's Kaneki and he's just hiding it? So a lot of questions still remain, a couple of clues here and there, and overall, it was a solid chapter yet again. I'm just enjoying the ride as of right now. Like, these first 2 chapters just got me super enthralled, and eventually, I do want to get to the point where we're less on the Inspector side and more on the Ghoul side, which usually with this manga is like every 5 or 6 chapters, we switch up and we see what's going on with the Ghouls more, so it'll probably happen in, you know, due time. But as of right now, I'm really hoping that Sasaki's group can definitely get more character build up, because to me, all I see is a bunch of assholes that are just like, oh yeah, I'm gonna be the biggest inspector of all time. And with all that being said, I'll probably give this chapter 7.5 to an 8, more so along the lines of maybe 7.5, because it was a lot of just explaining more exposition of what's going on, getting a little bit of the relationships and characterization of some of these characters, and kind of how the inspectors are seemingly assholes. But I gotta know, was that white-haired Kaneki recovering from the ass whipping he took from Arima? What are your thoughts on this chapter? What are your thoughts on a lot of the mysteries going around? Who do you think is Torso? Who do you think is Serpent? And what is that little girl with the camera's relation to either Ayato or Tsukiyama? Hey, your world thoughts, but that's all I have for this one. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you liked anything I had to say or enjoyed the video, drop me a like. I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you haven't subscribed, if you could do so as well, that would be awesome. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day.